Whoops, wrong one. I thought the second one was the new event. There's a new event that's expiring. Oh wait, no, this one. What? Oh, it is. It is this one. Okay, it just happens to be in the exact same area. Oh wait, no. Okay, it's because because I did the wrong one. It took me into the dream, and when I wanted to do this quest, it just took me out of it. It didn't take me to the actual location of where this was. Yeah, because this has a shorter timeout. So I'll do this real quick because I looked at the rewards, and it looked like, based on what the rewards were saying, it seems like this isn't going to be like a combat or it's super involved. It might just be like a fun little quick thing, which I can do pretty quickly. Oh, I think yeah. Oh yeah. We did something like this before. It was in that underground area where they had like the stage and stuff. But yeah, we did some sort of consultation where we had to go through a bunch of people and we had to give them the right answer, and they made like a bang boo that could give us a hint if it was too confusing. Yeah, because that was why I was thinking this would be an easy one, because I saw that the rewards were like, oh yeah, get this many number of points, and they were like pretty low. It was like, oh, get like 3,000 points in this. I'm like, oh, okay. There's probably gonna be something relatively simple. It's not really much of a medical thing. It seems more like a consultation stuff. Darn, I kind of wanted to say that I want to ride his bike too, even though I know that would be the wrong answer. I'm too much of a perfectionist to do something the wrong one. I do think this is a little too easy because I think up until this point, like literally every single answer has been the correct answer has been the top one. So it's like, yeah, the first option is always correct. Second option is incorrect. So it's like that's a little too easy. Oh wait, no, here we go. I think this one is probably the correct one. Okay, so I was gonna say like up until there's like four. Well, I mean, the tutorial always had the top one also be it. So okay, so this is the first one where I think the second one isn't correct. Oh, I see. I see. It's categories. So the first one was like, fuck. It was like spooky stories or something like that. This is Dream Tracers. It's interesting. An internship in the Hollow. Wait. You have an entrance exam, performance rehearsals, and an internship in the Hollow. I'm sorry, but performance rehearsals and Hollow internships seem widely disparate, right? If you're doing a performance of any sort, like musical, uh, theatrical, I don't see how that works well with anything in the Hollow. It's like you're not acting or performing music in a Hollow, so Oh, that was interesting. So I said the right thing. The Ethereals are ingredients, but she didn't have the normal little smiley face that appears when you give the right answer. She had like a big shocking gasp face. So I was worried for a second I got it wrong. Then I noticed I had 8,000 points. I'm like, okay, so I probably got it right. But yeah. So despite that, it still counted. Okay, so it should be getting more challenging, perhaps. Really, that's weird, right? I actually thought because it's like sailing through fog, watching shadows of flowers, but it's like I would interpret that fortune to mean that he's not going to confess to her. She was like, because the other one was like, he's preparing to confess, but not to you, and that's why I was like, yeah, it's the shadows of flowers. Like if you're sailing through fog, I mean, because I would interpret it as like, okay, you're through the fog. Fog is unknown, right? I mean, you can see shadows of flowers. So I guess that could be, auspicious, right? It's like cool, the flowers are there, you just can't see them yet. But I could also interpret it as you're watching him. The flowers are his feelings, and because you can't get out of the fog, you're just kind of like watching him confess to someone else, right? But I mean, the whole thing is like a lucky break. You couldn't ask for a better omen. That little orange text means it was positive. So because they were saying, oh, this previous one was a hint saying, oh, that's a good fortune. I'm like, oh, that's a good fortune. Oh, okay. That's the kind of tough thing about like fortunes like that seem very heavily. I'm sure it was probably more obviously a good fortune in the original Chinese, and I think China Chinese has a lot more of these like poetic fortunes, and like America and English doesn't really have that. Like we English fortunes kind of are more about riddles, and I think Chinese do it as well. But I think there's a little more symbology that they can do with Chinese text. I mean, the Japanese text too. Just those symbols, because the symbols and the kanji themselves, the characters themselves, have their own meanings. So, like, if that fortune, which could be interpreted positively and negatively, potentially, but if it was using only like positive characters, that you can interpret that way. Whereas like English fortunes in English are usually just like riddles, where it's like, I mean, and that's kind of what they do there. But yeah, so it is kind of make it a little confusing. It's definitely not one of these things that are super easy to localize because of just how you can express yourself. Wait, that's a good omen? I interpret that negatively. I interpret the hidden thunder as the strength of his opponents, and he's the representation of 100 rivers, right? Because of how old he is. He's 100 years old, right? You know, so I thought I interpret it as there is a new challenger that he's not aware of that will to shake his authority as 100 rivers, right? You know, yeah, like it's kind of weird, right? Because I would interpret it as you're going to be overthrown. I mean, to be fair, our recommendation was just take it easy, conserve your strength, and you'll. But like the fact that they were saying, "Oh, that's a good omen," I'm like, really? Like, I actually don't interpret that as a good omen because it's like it's not hidden thunders, right? Like he's won multiple times in a row. He has no hidden thunder. He's a well-known thunder. He has the. I would say hidden thunder is like hidden strength, right? To shake 100 rivers, I'm like, oh, okay. So there's some unknown opponent that's going to show up, that's going to shake, that's going to like overthrow the notions of of who's going to win. So I just interpret it as a dark horse is going to show up and win, overthrow all the previously thought victors, right? All the people who were thought to be shoo-ins. This dark horse is going to appear and win. But he can't be a dark horse because, as he says himself, he's won the last few times. So it's not going to be super surprising that he's going to win if he's already won multiple times. So that's why I would interpret it differently. But they were like, no, it's good omen. So I'm like, what? How is that a good omen? I mean, I get that, right? Late spring hides a cliff and one might fall. So it's like, yeah, so it's a danger is hidden, right? Which is, yeah, I get that. That's not lucky. So I get that at the very least. But that's the kind of tough thing where it's like you have these ways of saying it. And I'm pretty sure like that hidden thunder thing is probably like a more literal translation of what the Chinese word is. And there's also like a lot of history with some Chinese fortunes and shit, where it's like, oh no, like this is a classic fortune that like is used multiple times in multiple. So it's not. So for some of these, they're not even just like, oh, this is. For some of them, it's not like this is people interpreting it literally, but it's like, no, this has been used previously in the past thousands of years to indicate a good or bad fortune. So we know it's a bad fortune or a good fortune simply because it's that one. It's the classic fortune that just means bad luck type thing, So it could be that even the words themselves don't necessarily mean bad luck, but because it's an established thing in maybe their history that they're like, oh no, okay, like this is we use this type of fortune to indicate bad luck for ages now, which is kind of confusing because obviously it's like for non-Chinese speakers and who aren't familiar with Chinese history, we would know that shit. We could just try to interpret it literally, and without that hint, that'd be really tough. Contrast with, I bet in Japanese they probably call it gatmoe. Wait, what? I thought she was a scientist. I thought she was the one who made the prototype for that little like cube thing we used. Why is she saying she's in customer service? Also, I do find that a little bullshit, right? So it's like, I do think that's a little bullshit, and it's indicative of corporate culture, right? So basically, her complaint was, I work as a customer service rep. Lately, there's been a lot of customer service cases, and too many for me to handle by myself. If I don't do them, I'll get yelled at by my superiors. What can I do? And the options were get someone else to help or overtime. And it's like, I'm sorry, but that's not your responsibility. You know, it's the company's responsibility. If they hired you to handle cases. The amount of cases you can handle obviously is limited. You can only handle so many. If you're getting more than that allotment, if you're getting more cases than that allotment, then it's the company's responsibility to find other people to do the work, right? Like, I hate the idea that somehow, as a lowly grunt in a company, if the company doesn't have the resources to handle something, for whatever reason, you know, maybe this is a one-off, where it's like, oh no, like, this is a particularly busy time of year, right? Somehow it's the employee, like, it would reflect poorly on you as the employee if you can't handle them all. It's like, I'm sorry, no, but like, just because you as a company are getting more tickets, you as a company should have anticipated this and hired more workers to handle this influx of tickets, right? Like, that's clearly what should happen. And I hate the idea that it's somehow the employee's fault that the company didn't prepare for the amount of work that's being done, and somehow and that you'll get in trouble for not doing shit. It's like, I'm sorry, but like, I'll do as many cases as I can. I'll handle as many tickets as I can. But if there are too many, then it's not my responsibility as an employee. It's your responsibility as an employer to make sure there's enough resources to handle the incoming work. You know, because that's by her own admission. It's not that she is slacking off. It's just that the influx of tickets is just way too much. And so the options were get someone else, which is like, yes, ideally that should be something that not you handles. The company should have done this. The company should have said, or noticed, oh shit, we have a lot of tickets. We gotta reassign some people to this department to handle this workload. It shouldn't be up to you to work overtime to handle this. And obviously, and that's the problem is that this is just how companies act. They're like, yeah, it's incredibly short-sighted the way companies act sometimes, where they're just like, oh well, we're gonna enforce a bad situation on our employees because we didn't properly anticipate this, or we want to save money. It's like that's I've been in companies too where it's like, oh okay, you have this many employees, right? This many employees is handling all the work. Great, it's fine. But oh no, an employee left, right? Or got fired, or whatever reason, right? So there's one less employee. But tickets are still the same. The amount of work you have to do is still the same. But now you have one less person to do it. And ideally, what most companies do is they hire someone to replace that person. No problem. But I've seen lots of times where companies just are like, well, we don't really have it in the budget to hire another person, so you guys got to handle it. So basically, while you were hired to do a certain level of work based on a certain number of people in the thing, now you're expected to do more work to make up for the fact that the company doesn't want to hire another person. And I hate that bullshit, because it's incredibly short-sighted. It's incredibly short-sighted because basically, sure, while you're saving money by not having the extra person, everyone else is now overworked and mistakes are going to happen. Basically, the amount of, let's say your customer satisfaction was really high, but now that you're overworking people by having them work that extra person's shift, the quality of their work is not going to be as good because they still only have so much time to do their work, and and so the amount of time, if they still do this increased workload within that time frame, each case is now, and each ticket is now going to be worked less. So either corners are going to be cut, the responses are not going to be as thorough. Maybe the answers are still getting out there, but before it might have been an answer with a long list of examples and explanations about why things are the way they are, which makes the customers feel happy that the agent knows what the fuck they're talking about. But now it's just simply stating an answer with one or two examples, right? And so while the answer is still there, you're not able to give as thorough a one, right? So customer satisfaction is going to drop. And then, of course, this is still operating in the assumption that the amount of work is going to stay consistent. While most companies in general try to grow, right? They try to get more customers. They try to increase that. And of course, if you're dealing with any sort of customer service thing and you're increasing the number of customers you're dealing with, you're going to have more cases. So not hiring someone to try to save a quick buck now is going to lead to a worse customer experience overall. You're setting yourself up for failure in the future when the number of cases and tickets increase, but you're already operating on a reduced workforce who's already being overworked and providing increasingly worse responses. And so then when the customer workload increases even more, customer satisfaction will further drop, because again, you're not able, now cases will not be handled in the amount of time the customer's expecting. The responses might be even more short and terse, and you eventually drive away customers because they'll be like, you know what? I went to this company while what they provided was okay, the service was horrible. We didn't get responses quickly enough to handle our needs, so we go somewhere else, right? So you're basically setting yourself up for failure like that. But companies only think about the current, but there's a lot of companies that only think about in the short term, especially for something as vague as customer service, right? It's like producing a good product. Yes, that is important, but customer service is very important too. You can drive away people from your service if you don't handle your customers correctly. And I mean, there definitely is a different work ideology in Japan and China versus here. They definitely seem to be more of a workaholic country over there, where the concept of black companies exists in Japan because these are the companies that force overtime, where there's the expectation of overtime, where it's like, yes, you work at this company, you do your normal 9 to 5, but also you're expected pretty much every day to do overtime as well, right? So you're just expected to spend all your time at this company because they suck, right? They just are terrible working conditions, and the fact that this exists as a terminology, and hell, there's even manga and anime based around this idea, is bad, because it means that this is prevalent enough that it has popped up in culture. I don't know if China. Well, I guess China has the sweatshops, but I don't know how common that is. So it's hard to say. And America doesn't really have that, but they kind of do, and we just don't have that work culture exactly. But it is still incredibly short-sighted, and you can kind of tell, the American would probably never say the things that she said. But it's bad. It's a bad company that blames the employee for not handling an increased amount of work that the company themselves should have been planning and preparing for. But yeah, that's kind of a long little rant about that. But I've definitely seen stuff like that, and it is frustrating when you get companies who try to pass the buck on to their employees and not, just try to save money. They don't increase their workforce, even though there's an increase in the amount of work that needs to be done. And they're like, well, we can just force our employees to do this. There's a 10% increase in work. We don't need to hire somebody. We'll just have them work 10% harder. It's like, yeah, fuck you. You're not paying us 10% more. It's not like oh, you have to do, like, one person was fired. Um, well, we'll just have all the remaining employees do their work as well. It's like, okay, but are you going to pay us a percentage of their salary for this increased amount of work? No, I don't think so. So it's just like, it's incredibly selfish, self-centered, and short-sighted. And at the end of the day, it's the company's responsibility to plan for that. So when she was talking about how there's an increased amount of work, it's not her job to find someone to help her with the work or work overtime. It's the company's job to find someone to do the increased amount of work. Well, it's also like, you don't want to have haggling, which is like, I think it's far more common in non-English countries. But like, she's acting like she has to be the business person. It's like, you could hire someone else, right? You could hire someone else who will handle the sales while you handle the production. Oh wait, shit. Is that the right one? Did I go up to? Crap. I think that was the right answer, but she didn't give the normal smile. But that's also the same shocked face that was a correct answer in the previous one. Okay, so that was the correct answer. So I'm at 7,000 points. If I get the right answer for her, it'd be 8,000, and that is the max. It's actually taking a surprising amount of time. I thought that this would be faster. I do like it though. It's kind of amusing. Yeah, you need protein. I mean, to be fair, you can get enough protein from just vegetables, but like, you don't accidentally get protein. Actually, I don't even know. Let's see. Protein-rich vegetable. Because like we have peanuts, but peanuts aren't really a vegetable, are they? And like tofu, and again, tofu is not a vegetable. It's made from soybeans. So realistically, if she's actually just eating just like what we consider vegetables. So I'm thinking like, yes, you can have a vegetarian diet while still getting protein. But she didn't say vegetarian. She's eating only vegetables. So if it's like tomatoes, carrots, broccoli, cauliflower, all that shit, then I don't know how much actual protein is in them. I imagine not much. So that's probably why. Yeah, I mean, it could be those. If those are actual glasses and not eye things, maybe she needs better glasses. Although realistically, since it's a robot, you should just replace the eye entirely. I find that weird. That's so weird and stuff. Where it's like, oh yeah, you're having warm tea. It's like, oh, you should have some like other warm items. No, I don't think it's like yeah, warm doesn't refer to temperature, but it's also like this idea where it's just like I find it like weird. Like I've always found it weird in like these mostly Chinese stores. I really hear it much in Japanese ones. But then Chinese stores, like the idea that they have hot water, right? So they invite someone to their home and they pour them some hot water. I'm like, why would you want hot water? Like that's fucking gross. Like I like the only water I drink is chilled. Pretty much the only beverages I drink are chilled. Like I don't ever have anything. Well, okay, sure. Like if I have coffee and tea, that's warmed. Although even still for coffee, I prefer iced coffee. I don't really like iced tea, but I do drink hot tea. But like that's it. And I would understand if you were like, oh, I'm going to pour you some tea, or I'm going to make you some coffee, and obviously that's hot. So sure, but like no, it's just no. I'm just going to boil some water and give you hot water. Like why the fuck would you drink hot water? Like it's so weird. I just do not get it. And because I'm like, I think I've heard shit like where it's like, oh well, if you have cold water, like it can like if you have cold drinks, it'll like fuck up your stomach or something, or it's harder to digest or whatever. I'm like, what? Like, okay, sure, I drink cold water. You realize, like, I'm 100-degree human, right? Like, my internal temperature is 100 degrees. You realize how quickly I'll warm up? You know, even if I drink like a liter of 32-degree water, like you could calculate how quickly heat would transfer between that. But well, it's something hard to tell because you have to like determine your own like body mass and shit like that to see a liter of this degree, and you just weigh yourself in liters of 100-degree water, how quickly it would transfer. And it's like, yeah, like in like less than 5 minutes, at the very least, at the very most, in less than 5 minutes, that 32-degree water is now the same temperature as your own body. So it's like, how is having slightly chilled water inside you for a few minutes really going to impact you, right? Like, maybe if you're already having like stomach problems, sure, maybe like the shock of cold water on a already upset stomach could do something, but like they're like we're talking about like normal people here, you know, like just a normal person who doesn't have problems. It's just like it's so weird, the idea of drinking warm water. Ugh. Like warm like tap water, right? So it's like, I mean, they boil water, but it's like, yeah, it's warm, plain water. Like, why? It's so gross. Okay, there we go. Got all that shit. There we go. Okay, so that's all done. I mean, and that's probably gonna be a little final questy thing. Yeah, this definitely did take longer than I was expecting. I knew I was pretty sure it wasn't going to be a combat event, especially because this patch we had two combat events. We had Lucia's and Yidhari's, so I was pretty sure this wasn't going to be that. Especially considering how little time you had to do it. Like it was only active for like 2 weeks. So yeah, but it still took me about like 30 minutes or so. Although I mean, I guess I did like have a 5 minute or so, maybe 5 to 10 minute long rant about corporate culture. So maybe I had to waste more time than need be. Are we actually doing this? Are we actually going to meet Vivian at the beach? Oh, yeah! Vivian had her swimsuit outfit, so this event is explaining why it exists. I just thought it was going to be some random thing of like, here you go, because for Ellen, we just got her schoolgirl outfit for free, basically. They didn't really explain it. Although, to be fair, we have seen Ellen in her schoolgirl outfit previously. Like, when you're doing her trust event, oftentimes she is just with her friends, you know, who are all wearing their uniforms. So having the option to wear that is not super crazy because like had already been introduced when we meet her in casual attire because her maid outfit is her work attire. But I guess technically Alice and Yuzuha both got a swimsuit, but a swimsuit version, but it was properly explained in the Fantasy Resort patch. I guess Yishuan, her bonus outfit was never explained. Same for Astra, too. Astra and Yishuan, they never even bothered explaining why we had a second outfit for them. But I guess, because I guess it'd be hard to kind of explain that. Whereas this, it's like, well, we have the beach. So if you want to explain why someone has a swimsuit, you could easily just say, hey, let's go to the beach at any point. And I was like, that's why it exists, because she goes to the beach with you in this episode, in this event.
H 地区でのご活躍、私も耳にしておりました。あれほどの危機にも冷静な対処ができるなんて、さすがパイトン様なのです。ですが、ご自身の安否にも気をかけてください。私は本当に心配で、常におそばにはいられませんが、ビビアンはちゃんと頑張っているのです。
Say that here. I don't want to accidentally get too close and trigger something.
ビビアン、今はただお言葉通り砂を踏み潮風に吹かれているだけで悩みが消えました。やはりあなたがそばにいてくださる限り、私はこの世界で一番の幸せ者です。私にとってもビビアンに出会えたのは幸運だよ。パイトン様。それでは次の DM はきっとすぐに返信してくださいますよね。
Okay, I was going to wonder how we're going to respond to that. Because I assume she's sending us like texts at like 3 in the morning. And we're like, why haven't they responded? Oh, I was kind of hoping for a splash art. I was kind of hoping for a still image of like the two of us just like chilling on the beach or walking or something. So I mean, it's nice. I mean, they didn't obviously have to do that too. It could have just been purely, yeah, we're gonna have a consultation. But they had this little beach episode to kind of justify, hey, yeah, that's why she has the skin, because she took you to the beach. And like, it's not like they even have to justify it at all. They could have just been like, no, like, we added a skin for Vivian because we like Vivian, you know. So, and obviously I bought it, so. Been doing this for 49 minutes. I need some money. I need to spend my resin. But, shit. So I need my resin. But, I don't know how much I'm going to be, because like, I'm already kind of getting tired. I mean, well, not really. I'm not even tired. I'm not like tired, but I'm like sweating and shit. And I'm just noticing that I'm sweating. Normally, if it's an interesting sight, that's why I like to do stories and events and shit, because it's distracting. So I forget, what I'm doing. I forget. Oh yeah, I've been working out for a while. Hell, like yesterday, like by the time I got to a good stopping point in Genshin, I think it was already like, I had been walking for an hour and 20 minutes. So it's like it's not like I can't do it. But like, when I'm doing stuff like that, which it's not super involving, right? Like, sure, the Vivian thing is nice, but it's still just like, walking with her along the beach, kind of waiting for her to finish the dialogue options before leading it by interacting with the thing. Not a tough thing to do. So, but yeah, let's get this done. I'll go back into Yidhari's thing. There is a story element to it before the combat thing, so I might try to at least do the next portion of the story, and then we'll see if it leads directly into the combat, or if I do have a choice. If I have a choice, I might stop. If I don't, I might just finish the combat thing and then stop then. I think that will probably take me a bit. I think that will probably take me out. And, oh shit, that was... Oh wow, got them all. They were all in range, nice. Yeah, we'll see. Because, like, yeah, it's been a while. Like, I didn't realize how involved the Yidhari thing is. That does kind of suck, because that you don't, like... Well, actually, no, usually... Zenless Zone Zero does it better than, like, Genshin in that sense. In that, like, when you're looking at an event, you don't really know what's involved with the event. Whereas, for Zenless Zone Zero, usually, even for the splash page, usually they have the exclusive reward shit. So you can kind of get a feel for what's going to be involved. So I knew there was going to be combat involved, because it's like, well, first of all, it says battle. It literally has battle right in the fucking name for these. But then the fact is, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's like, oh, okay, so there's going to be a sequence of battles and combat. So you could tell at a glance that this was going to be that this is going to involve combat. I thought it was going to be more just like pure combat, where it's like, oh, no, you just go into a bunch of fights, maybe learning how to use Yidhari. But then you have this thing, you're like, oh shit, like, okay, it's a little more involved than that. Like, look at all this shit. There's, all this story. I see, 3, 4. So all this shit. Wait, what? Wait. Let me back up a sec. Is this quest? This one, right? Old and new friends, would you like to continue? Yeah, because this seemed like a story part. Not that thing, because that was like, oh yeah, you've already done the story. You're just working to do... Oh no, this is battle 2. Okay, so never mind. This is the battle. Okay. Because I went into here and I'm like, oh, this seems like a story. I thought, okay, yeah. I guess if I had talked to him, I would have known this was going to be a battle. I guess the other problem is I forgot how this works. So, like, I forgot what each do. And I remember looking it up before, like, okay, oh, never mind. Oh, whoops. Shit. Okay, so I gotta hold it. Yeah, I should have. God damn it. Okay. Yeah, so I can hold the button to do this. I forgot that there was the quick time event for this part. So I could have had an easier time if I just dodged. If I had done it properly the first time and then dodged for the second. Yeah, I mean, imagine this. I mean, it did say light battle anyway. Oh, let's see. It did say light battle anyway, so this is obviously like learning how to play the game, and then we're gonna get more and more ethereal. So then it'll be more strategic, as we have to like learn how to which ethereals. Ooh, suspicious books. Which ethereals synergize with each other. Oh.
トライアンフのお帰りだ。ポンペイの兄貴、フォローでは何ともなかったですか？
I think he was the leader of the enemy bike gang in our outer ring thing, right? Against the Sons of Caledon, he was the leader. Because I think it was like his second in command, like betrayed everybody or like cheated or did some bullshit. And I think this guy died. Like he got. I think the second in command did something that like turned them all into ethereal and we had to kill him. Oh, actually, yeah, I think he's the elite boss. He's the weekly boss that you have to fight to get parts for, like Caesar and Bernice's talents. He's the guy who turned into the biker, a biker ethereal, who like rides his bike around. I'm pretty sure that's what he became.
はいはい、冗談はそのくらいにしとこ。
私の夢。
うん、許可もなしに入っちゃったのは謝らなきゃなんだけど。
大丈夫。私のためにそこま。
思い出？
ポンペイさんに助けても。
Well, no, I mean, like, this is your dream. We didn't bring that in. We're still living through your dream, so we could still help you try to sort through your subconscious to try to find your repressed childhood memories.
実際に起きたこと。
ポンペイの親分、どうされたんです？子供だ。そのガキですか。なんだってこんなとこにタコのし。小娘。
パパとママが。
心配。
つまり井戸ちゃんって。それはそうとイドリ。
君の気持ちは嬉しいけど、この夢の私の中にある両親の記憶は。
待ってくれ。イドリーの精神安定値に揺らぎを観測した。今は彼女のしたいように。
なあ、話してるところ悪いが。キリが。
Okay, let me... Shit. I'm gonna put a pin in this again. Let's head out. Oh, wait, what? Yeah, there we go. I was actually surprised I could still teleport. I thought it would be... I thought the teleport menu would just be out. Okay, so since I've been walking for about an hour, so it's a good stopping point. I could continue, but, like, I'm not in a huge rush because I do have 14 days to do this, and this is basically what I'm going to be doing. Oops. This is basically what I'm going to be doing for this coming week during my walks. So I've pretty much done everything in Genshin I need to do. I did the Archon quest, and that was the only real thing to do. I think Genshin does have a new event, so we'll see. But I think the new event for Genshin is also a 2-week thing, so I'll work on finishing Yidhari's quest. Once I'm done with that, I'll do the Genshin one. Although I might test out the Genshin one to see what's involved with it. It might be something easy for all I know. Because I think it just came out and it has only 14. It had like only a few week expiration date, and usually those mean that they're not going to be super involved. So I might just take a day to blast through it. And all that. Maybe one of the days, because like I usually, at the beginning part of the week, I'll pop into Genshin to do my weekly bosses and stuff, so I might try to test out that event then. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call it for now. I will be... Let's see, what am I going to play? Is this early? I was thinking about doing Ghost of Yotei. Getting a few hours of that in. It's been a while since I've played it. But there's also a bunch of Honkai Star Rail events and stuff, so I couldn't do the Honkai... Like, I have... I mean, the thing is, I have to do my Divergent Universe in Honkai Star Rail. Like, I have to. Because today's the last day for that, so I have to log in at the very least for that. Oh, yeah, that's what I was thinking about doing. Okay, yeah. So what I think I'll do, actually, is... Since it is early enough, I was thinking, Ghost of Yotei. But I haven't been logging into Final Fantasy very much. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to log into Honkai Star Rail, do Divergent Universe, do the 2 events that are on offer, the new endgame event, whatever it was, and the little Ron May putting things event. Maybe get those out of the way, get those completed, so I'm done. We'll see if I can do them. I'm not sure how involved it is, but I'll work on that. I'll work on the Honkai Star Rail stuff first. Then I'll log into Final Fantasy, do my frontline roulette, which I desperately need to do. I've been doing it all for like the past week. Or actually, because I want to finish Foolish Mortals, which is the game I've been playing the past few days. I should be nearing the end. I only need one more key. I only need one more key, and then it should be the final ending. And this is the game that I helped Kickstarter like years ago. It finally was released a few days ago. So I've been playing through it, having a lot of fun. So it's a classic point-and-click adventure game, but I really liked it. I think the puzzles are pretty cool. It's unlike some other ones where it's like, oh, you use one item and that's it. Like, it's like, oh, okay, you use this item to solve this puzzle. It's like, okay, yeah, this item, you use it for this, and then it disappears. If this game actually has multiple uses of items, where it's like, yeah, you use this item to solve this puzzle, but then you also need it for this other puzzle. So the fact that you can use some items you can actually use more than once to solve puzzles is really interesting, because it has to make you think, like, oh shit, like, you know. So it's not. It makes it a little more complex, because before it's like, oh, okay, because before the other way, it keeps your inventory relatively lean, because the second you use an item for a puzzle, it disappears. So you only have a certain number of items you could use. So I do like that, and I like the story. The story's been pretty fun. So, and the voice acting's been really good. So I've been enjoying it a lot. So I think that's what I'll do. I'll pop in, do Honkai Star Rail, do as much as I can for that, then finish Foolish Mortals. Because the reason why I want to do Foolish Mortals first, then Final Fantasy, is because I'm thinking that once I get into Final Fantasy, do my frontline roulette, maybe the Sandoria fight, because I think I might have not done that yet for this week. Then I might go and do more relic farming. So I got my Carpenter weapon, so I'm pretty much all set for my macros. I know exactly what macros to do. Basically, I know how to do it very efficiently, and I know that my macros work. So I might work on just doing my blacksmith and getting as far as I can with my blacksmith relic weapon. And then at that point, things will really open up, because both my carpenter and my blacksmith will have a level 100 eye level 720 weapon, which means I should be able to use my macros to make the secondary weapons for my my other crafting classes. Because right now, my carpenter and blacksmith, I bought the 750 eye level secondary weapon because I was going to use my relic weapon as my main weapon to save money. And rather than spend $200,000 to $300,000 for the secondary weapons for all the other crafting classes, carpenter and blacksmith are the two classes that make all the secondary weapons for all the crafting and gathering classes. So with those two, if I can get those two with their eye level 720 level 100 weapon, then they should be able to make high quality versions of all the secondary weapons from my other classes, and then all my other crafting classes will have the same stats as my carpenter and blacksmith when I went into doing their relics. So at that point, I can do the relic weapons for all the other crafting classes, and then wrap it up with my gathering ones. And then, but that's still not the end, because after that, that's only the 720 version. The max level at the moment is also 750, which matches the secondary weapon I have. So there still is. This is like the 720 weapon, I believe, is the max you could do for the moon. And then with Fina, the next planet, that's when it goes from the 720 to 750 through its steps. So basically, once I got all my crafters and gatherers 720 weapon, I'll move my base of operations from the moon over to Fina, and start working on the next step, which I think might be pretty much the same. Like, I don't know. I don't know if Fina is going to have different, like, harder crafts. Maybe they will. Maybe the thresholds for some stuff will be more challenging. But, we'll see. We'll know when we get to it. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call it for now. I will be back on shortly after I shower, get something to eat, and then I'll be playing Honkai Star Rail. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all